More than 160 aircraft are on display at the Dubai Air Show 2017, with Emirates Airlines announcing the purchase of 40 Boeing 787 Dreamliners, a deal worth about $15 billion. Many of the aircraft on static display at the show are making highly anticipated debut. The military aircraft on display include Russia's Sukhoi Su-35 air defense fighter, the Eurofighter Typhoon twin-engine multi-role fighter, and JF-17 Thunder fighters, which were jointly developed by China and Pakistan. Among civil aircraft, Emirates Airlines is showcasing its 100th jumbo Airbus A380, the Airbus A350, Airbus A319, Boeing 787 Dreamliner, and Boeing 777 are also on display. As for business aircraft, the Global Express 6000, Gulfstream G550, and Gulfstream G650ER are featured at the show.
We can take, for example, VIP version. Yes, of course, it exists some peculiarities for customers in the Middle East, more luxurious and so on and so on. That's why we are ready to provide such kind of version of our helicopters to this market too.
Apart from the static display, aerobatic teams from China, Russia and the UAE are staging thrilling performances at the air show, showcasing their perfect formations and gravity-defying skills. 6 J-10 aerobatic fighter jets of the Chinese Air Force's elite Bai aerobatics team demonstrated their acrobatic skills for the first time in the history of the air show. The 6 jets showed formations like barrel rolls, vertical stunts, and parallel flights in the shape of triangle. Several visitors of the air show expressed their excitement about the Chinese aerial show.
We were all impressed, I must say, and definitely caught our attention.
It looks very flexible regarding the maneuverabilities and the power. So actually it's a good impression, I think.
Also at the show, French President Emmanuel Macron told a news conference that France has sold 2 Goldwyn-class corvettes of state-owned shipbuilder Naval Group to the United Arab Emirates.
Now let's see what Uber is up to as it pushes the quest for air taxi services.
Uber has struck a deal with the National Aeronautical Space Administration, NASA, to develop software for managing flying taxi routes in the air along the lines of ride-hailing services as it pioneered on the ground. And in this case, it's working hard to stay on regulation's good side. Uber said it was the first formal services contract by the U.S. National Aeronautical and Space Administration covering low-altitude airspace rather than outer space.
In 2023, that'll be full, paid passenger flights happening. So, you'll be able to literally, on your smartphone, with the Uber app, you'll be able to push a button and choose Uber Air as one of the options.
Uber would begin testing 4-passenger, 322 km/h flying taxi services across Los Angeles in 2020, its second test market after Dallas and Fort Worth. Uber has faced endless regulatory and legal battles around the world since it launched its ride-hailing services earlier this decade, including a recent showdown in London, where it is battling to retain its license after having been stripped of it by city regulators over safety concerns. The company is looking to speed development of a new industry of electric on-demand urban air taxis which customers could order up via a smartphone in ways that parallel the ground-based taxi alternatives it has popularized while expanding into more than 600 cities since 2011. Earlier this year, Uber hired NASA veterans Mark Moore and Tom Prevost to run respectively its aircraft vehicle design team and its air traffic management software program.
The flying car, the Blade Runner analogies, I think that's not necessarily completely helpful in urban air mobility. I think this is a transportation system. It's a new evolution of a helicopter as we know it. It's a better helicopter because it can be more affordable, it can be less noisy, and it has more redundancy in its architecture.
Uber envisions a fleet of electric jet-powered vehicles, which is part helicopter, part drone, and part fixed-wing aircraft running multiple small rotors, capable of both vertical takeoff and landing and rapid horizontal flight.